Good day, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Military and Foreign Affairs Network. I am your host, the voice of reason. I wanted to share an official White House video celebrating Debauchery Month. And I'm just going to let the video play, and then we'll have a discussion as it occurs, and we'll talk.
United States and Dr. Jill Biden, accompanied by the Harvey family.
Welcome to the White House and happy Pride! The Pride celebration is always one of the most exciting events at the White House. But this year we wanted to do something a little different than before. Not just a reception that recognizes the leaders and the activists of this movement, but an all-American picnic here on the South Lawn. Celebrating you, America's LGBTQ families. We're grateful to the Gill Foundation who helped make today possible, as well as all of those organizations who work to bring hundreds of families together from across our country. It's such an honor to be here with all of you and to see so many of our friends. And as I look around at this crowd, I'm reminded that you're not just leaders and icons. You're parents trying to figure out what to make for tonight's dinner.
Okay, I want to pause it there because this is an important photograph. Look at the White House. I mean, obviously the event is being held on White House grounds. But look at the flag and look at the type of flag that is being used. This is very important. Normally, when you see these homosexual-based flags, you have the rainbow. This includes another element up here. You see this light pink and this light blue? This is, and they will deny this, okay, the left and the group that is in power seeking to create a unitary one-party state. That symbolizes what they call minor attractive pedophilia. You like young boys and you like young girls. That's what it means. Now, I don't think there's any reason to continue on with the speech by Biden and his wife. It's reprehensible. It is the end. It is the end, unless something changes, and something changes radically. Radically. The corporations of the United States are on board with this, pushing it down people's throats through diversity, equity, and inclusion, daily, monthly indoctrination. The school systems in the United States, from when children first are learning to read, they are bombarded with this debauched sexual nationalism of these very incredibly debauched people, which make up just a small, finite proportion of the population. But at the same time, it's rapidly expanding because of this indoctrination through TikTok, through the school systems, through social media apps. It's expanding. I don't know how we arrived at this point. I look back 20 years ago, 30 years ago, and if you would have told me that we would see this, go back to when you were younger, if you're in your 50s, and go back to the 80s, and if they would have told you, you would see this flag and what it stands for, draped over the people's house, the White House, representing a very incredibly small, debauched, psychologically damaged portion of the United States and world. If you were to know this was coming 30 years ago, or if you were told this was coming, you would probably say, well, that's insane. You are a conspiracy theorist. Now I want to think about what comes next. What comes next for the generation, the younger generation, that is accepting of this? If we fast forward 20, 30 years into the future, what is going to be next that this generation that may find this tolerable, what is going to be next that this generation finds insane? And for people who were in their 18s and 20s in the 1980s, 1970s, it has to be terrifying for what that next element of this debauched society, because the collapse of a nation state can take decades and decades. I mean, if you look at the Roman Empire, how long it took from pinnacle to collapse, it takes some time, or it can happen very quickly, and you just don't know how that's going to manifest itself. But if you are a Navy SEAL, if you're a member of the military, if you're a Ranger, if you're an airborne infantryman, if you are in the Marine Corps, if you're a Marine Raider, special operations, combat arms, law enforcement, with kinetic ability and kinetic skill sets, be thinking about what comes next. At what point do we say enough is enough? Have a good day.